Welcome back, homebodies. Today's video is going to be a cute little, preteen hairstyle. And y'all, I don't braid professionally no more. So, this is not one of those I snatched your hair so well video. This is just me trying to parent and come up with a parenting win. So, understand that you use it or you lose it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this video. So this was just hair that we already had in the stash, and I cut it up, and I am now stretching the ends so that her hair can come out a lot more tapered at the ends. From there, I like to brush out any of the knots or tangles and then begin to separate the hair so that I can just braid and we can get in and we can get out. From start to finish, this style took about 3 hours. From there, I like to lay the hair out in these sections that I'm going to braid in. The method that I've utilized in this particular style is 3 smaller pieces and then 3 larger pieces. For the curly hair, I separate 1 strand into 6 pieces to be braided into the hair. The reason why I do it this way is so that as I'm braiding the hair in, the 3 smaller pieces add up to the thickness of one of the larger pieces, and the braid will come out a lot smoother. I do like to add the hair underneath the braid and not on the side or in the middle leg of that particular braid. After I finish laying out all of the hair, I then like to go and section her hair into the larger parts. This allows me to divide the hair into the individual plaits, moisturize her hair, moisturize her scalp, and prepare the hair for the actual style. And it literally makes such quick work of the style because, y'all, the focus for us is to get in and to get out. It is not to be doing this all day. And my daughter is extremely tender-headed, and if you haven't caught her little faces, understand it is a process. I am, understand that these clips are sped up. I am not hurting her, but she's legit tender-headed, and she's just trying to get in and get out too. Her previous protective style was mini braids, and as you can see, I am still taking out some of those plaits. But after I get that squared away, I'm going to plait and put all of her hair into one ponytail. That way I can begin on the plaits at the nape of her hair. Now, my daughter, I'm not sure what hair type she is. I've just learned over the years what products work for us, especially when braiding. And as I said before, those products will be listed down below in the description box. When I get ready to prepare her hair for the actual protective style, I do not apply the actual styling jam on her scalp. This dries her hair out really bad, and I really try not to do it. So after I apply the jam to her hair and not her scalp, I then start by parting out my 3 sections. After I part out those 3 sections, I use either a grease or a scalp conditioner to then apply to her scalp and lay down any new growth hair. After that, I then prepare the hair for the actual extension. First, I like to massage in any of the or scalp conditioner, leave-in conditioner for the rest of her hair, and then I'll apply the jam in order to slip the hair down so that it is a smooth braid. I am a underhanded braider, so the first thing I do is separate 1/2 from the bottom, and then what's left, I like to divide that into 2, and that creates my 3 legs of braids. From there, I always switch the hair to my left hand and create a loop for my left hand to grab onto the hair and then begin braiding that hair in. I am left hand dominant, so I'm not sure if you're right hand dominant how that will work. but as you can see, I'm literally adding a piece of hair with every rotation so that the thickness of the braid is as consistent as it can be. And if you have noticed, I've added those 3 smaller pieces, and now I'm beginning to add in my 3 larger pieces. I try to add in hair from the bottom so that there are no lumps or inconsistencies in the braid. And I've noticed that if I add the hair on top, I always end up having to take the braid out in order to get that lump of hair that just seems to I don't know, it's just like that strip of hair when you're adding hair in. I don't like that, so I add the hair from the bottom. Now with the curly pieces, I add them the same way, but what I do is leave out one side, braid down like 3 or 4 rotations, and then take it out on the opposite side. Now when I was braiding, this seemed like the best way to go about ensuring that the curly hair is braided into the braid as best it could be. But there were some braids where I only braided down maybe like 2 rotations and then took out the hair on the opposite side. To be quite transparent, the hair was sliding, and I don't suggest it. And then at the end of her hair, just to give her a little curl, I only added 2 curly pieces for the bottom. I do think that the next time we repeat this style, I'll add more curly hair so that it's a thicker curl at the bottom of her braids. But you know, this was my first time actually attempting this, and as you can see, they're semi-even, you know. But anyway, once I finished braiding all the hair, I then went back with my scissors and cut off any of the blunt ends from the stretched hair. Yes, I know that, you know, I could have bought stretched hair, but to be quite transparent, this was in a stash and we was just going to use what was in the stash. And last I checked, she loved it. I loved it. From start to finish, it took us 3 hours. And for me, that's a whole win. That's a parenting win for me. After I finished trimming off all of those blunt ends, I then go in with 2 different mousses. One was the Tropical Roots, and that is what I used on her curly hair. And then on her actual natural hair, I used the Design Essentials Almond and Manoi. When it came to the curly hair, I noticed that if I use the Tropical Roots, the curl just tend to pop a lot more. And then I put some mousse on my hands and then ran it on the curly pieces sticking out of the braid, and that further defined the curl, because as you can see with me separating the hair, it separated the curl as well. Off camera, I did blow dry her hair. I want to say it was maybe less than 3 minutes, but no, I do not arch her eyebrows. She's 10, she came out with those. You'll be surprised how many times I get asked, am I arching her eyebrows? So after I get her edges together and, you know, put the finishing touches on the style, she was really pleased with it. And from the looks of this really pretty smile, she was absolutely excited to have her waist length boho knotless inspired braids. I hope that this video was somewhat helpful for you guys that are looking for cute little preteen styles that are not too much but just enough to make your little ones feel so glamorous. If you just so happen to like this video, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, homebodies.